The rain was coming down in sheets, mirroring the storm inside me. Alaric, a 44-year-old software engineer in Seattle, stared out the window of our Queen Anne home, a home that suddenly felt as foreign as Mars. My life had been meticulously coded, each line of code representing a promise, a shared dream with my wife, Bronte. We'd been married for 18 years, a seemingly unbreakable bond forged over shared laughter, quiet evenings, and the unwavering belief that we were each other's forever. I was so wrong. It started subtly, like a glitch in the system. Bronte, a vibrant and outgoing interior designer, began spending more time at the office, citing a demanding new client. Late nights became the norm, her explanations delivered with a weary smile and a quick kiss before she drifted off to sleep. I, naive fool that I was, attributed it to her ambition, her dedication to her craft. I even started bringing her dinner at the office, a gesture of support that now felt like a cruel joke. The first real red flag appeared a few weeks ago. Bronte's phone, usually an extension of her hand, became fiercely guarded. Passwords were changed, notifications silenced, and the phone was never left unattended. When I casually inquired about it, she brushed it off, claiming it was due to sensitive client information. I wanted to believe her desperately, but a nagging unease had taken root in my gut. Then came the business trip to Portland. Bronte was scheduled to attend a design conference, a 3-day affair that she had been looking forward to for months. I offered to drive her to the airport, but she insisted on taking an Uber, citing an early morning meeting. I kissed her goodbye, a lingering kiss that I now realize was laced with her deception. "I'll miss you," I said, my voice filled with genuine affection. "I'll miss you too," she replied, her eyes betraying nothing. That night I couldn't sleep. The house felt eerily empty without her presence, and the silence amplified the gnawing suspicion that had been plaguing me. I tried to distract myself, watching a movie, reading a book, but nothing worked. My mind kept replaying the past few weeks, searching for clues, for answers. Finally, around 2 a.m., I succumbed to the temptation. I knew it was wrong, a violation of her privacy, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly amiss. I picked up her iPad, which she had left on the kitchen counter, and started to scroll through her messages. The first few messages were innocuous, work-related emails and texts from friends. But then I stumbled upon a conversation on WhatsApp, a series of messages exchanged with a number I didn't recognize. My heart quickened as I started to read, each word a hammer blow to my soul. The messages were filled with intimate details, whispered promises, and blatant declarations of love. "I can't wait to see you in Portland," one message read. "These few days will be heaven." Another message, sent just hours before her supposed flight, said, "Just thinking about being with you makes me breathless." I felt like I had been punched in the stomach, the air sucked out of my lungs. My vision blurred and the room started to spin. I reread the messages, desperately hoping that I was misinterpreting them, that there was some logical explanation. But there was no mistaking the truth. Bronte was having an affair, and she was meeting her lover in Portland under the guise of a business trip. The rest of the night was a blur. I paced the house like a caged animal, consumed by a maelstrom of emotions. Anger, betrayal, disbelief, and a profound sense of loss washed over me in waves. How could she do this to me? To us? After all these years, after all the sacrifices we had made for each other, how could she throw it all away for some fleeting affair? As dawn broke, I made a decision. I couldn't stay in that house, surrounded by the ghosts of our shattered dreams. I needed to confront her, to demand answers, to understand how she could betray me so callously. I booked a flight to Portland, determined to uncover the truth and salvage what was left of my dignity. The flight was agonizing. Every minute felt like an eternity, my mind racing with scenarios, each more painful than the last. I imagined Bronte and her lover laughing, holding hands, sharing intimate moments that were once reserved for me. The thought made my blood boil. When I arrived in Portland, I took an Uber to the hotel where Bronte was supposed to be attending the conference. I walked into the lobby, my heart pounding in my chest, and asked the receptionist if Bronte was checked in. She confirmed that she was, and I requested her room number. I took the elevator to her floor, my hands trembling. I stood outside her door, listening for any sounds, any indication of what was happening inside. After a moment, I heard muffled voices, a woman's laughter, a man's deep chuckle. I took a deep breath and knocked on the door. The laughter stopped abruptly, replaced by a tense silence. After a few seconds, the door opened and Bronte stood before me, her face pale with shock. Behind her, I saw a man standing by the window, his back to me. He turned around and I felt my world crumble into dust. It was Theron, my best friend, my confidant, the man I had trusted more than anyone else in the world. He looked ashen, his eyes filled with a mixture of guilt and fear. "Alaric," he stammered, "this isn't what it looks like, isn't what it looks like," I repeated, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "Then please enlighten me. What exactly does it look like?" Bronte stepped forward, her eyes pleading. "Alaric, please let me explain, explain," I roared, my voice echoing down the hallway. "Explain how you could betray me with my best friend. Explain how you could lie to my face and stab me in the back. Explain how you could destroy everything we've built together for some cheap thrill." Theron tried to intervene, but I pushed him aside. "Stay out of this," I snarled. "This is between me and my wife. Or should I say my soon-to-be ex-wife." I turned back to Bronte, my eyes filled with a mixture of anger and pain. "I want you out of my house," I said, my voice trembling. "I want you out of my life. I never want to see you again." I turned and walked away, leaving them standing there, their faces etched with guilt and shame. I didn't look back. I couldn't bear to see them, to witness the depth of their betrayal. The next few months were a living hell. The divorce was messy and acrimonious, filled with accusations and recriminations. Bronte tried to apologize, to explain her actions, but I refused to listen. I couldn't forgive her. I couldn't forget what she had done. I lost my appetite, my sleep, my zest for life. I became a shell of my former self, consumed by bitterness and resentment. My friends tried to comfort me, to offer support, but I pushed them away. I didn't want their pity. I just wanted to be left alone. Theron, to his credit, tried to reach out to me, to apologize for his role in the affair. But I refused to speak to him. I couldn't bring myself to forgive him either. He had betrayed my trust in the most profound way possible, and I couldn't see him without feeling a surge of rage. As the dust settled, I started to rebuild my life, piece by painful piece. I moved out of our house and into a small apartment downtown. I threw myself into my work, using it as a distraction from the pain. I started exercising, trying to regain some sense of control over my body and my mind. One evening, a few months after the divorce was finalized, I received a phone call from an unknown number. I hesitated before answering, but curiosity got the better of me. "Hello," I said. "Alaric, it's Bronte," the voice on the other end said. "I need to talk to you." I almost hung up, but something in her voice stopped me. She sounded desperate, broken. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice cold. "I need your help," she said. "Theron's left me, left you." I repeated, a flicker of satisfaction igniting within me. "What do you mean he's left you?" "He left me for someone else," she sobbed. "He said he never really loved me, that I was just a distraction. He's gone, Alaric, I have nothing." I felt a pang of sympathy for her, but it was quickly overshadowed by the memory of her betrayal. "I'm sorry to hear that," I said, my voice devoid of emotion. "But I can't help you, Bronte. You made your choices, and now you have to live with the consequences." "Please, Alaric," she begged. "I don't know what to do, I'm all alone." "Not alone," I said. "You have Theron." "Oh wait, no you don't. You have yourself, Bronte, and that's all you need." I hung up the phone, a sense of closure washing over me. I didn't feel happy exactly, but I felt a sense of justice. She had reaped what she had sown. Time passed. I continued to rebuild my life, slowly but surely. I started dating again, cautiously opening myself up to the possibility of love. I made new friends, people who appreciated me for who I was, not for who I was in relation to someone else. One day, I received a letter in the mail. It was from Theron. He wrote about his regret, his shame, his remorse. He admitted that he had made a terrible mistake, that he had hurt the two people he cared about most in the world. He asked for my forgiveness. I read the letter several times, my emotions churning. Part of me wanted to reject his apology, to hold on to my anger and resentment. But another part of me realized that holding on to those feelings was only hurting me. I decided to forgive him, not for his sake, but for my own. I never spoke to Bronte or Theron again. They had both become ghosts in my life, reminders of a painful past that I was determined to leave behind. I focused on the present, on building a future filled with love, trust, and genuine connection. Years later, I met someone new, a woman named Orlia who saw me for who I truly was and loved me unconditionally. We built a life together, a life filled with laughter, joy, and unwavering support. I finally found the happiness I had thought I had lost forever. The scars of Bronte's betrayal will always be there, a reminder of the fragility of trust and the pain of heartbreak. But they no longer define me. I have emerged from the ashes, stronger and wiser, ready to embrace the future with an open heart. I learned a valuable lesson from that experience. That forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of others, but about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. It's about choosing to move forward to create a life filled with love and happiness, despite the pain of the past. And that, my friend, is the greatest revenge of all.